Remember Wayfair rumors? Damn, I knew the Wayfair conspiracy was true.
Was it actually real?
These are the comments and questions that flooded the internet following the release of the Epstein files, which led us to wonder, had this conspiracy been brushed aside too quickly?
To this day, some believe it was a coincidence. Others think it was a mistake that exposed something far darker.
This is a conspiracy that exploded in 2020 and now resurfacing in 2026.
These names on this website listed for Wayfair were linked to actual people with actual families.
And the Epstein files didn't just revive this one. They seem to be links to other conspiracies along the way.
I've got to warn you, what we're going to talk about tonight will be disturbing to some people.
It's time to see just how deep this Wayfair conspiracy goes. To start, let's rewind to 2020. All it took was one tweet from a well-known QAnon user drawing attention to Wayfair cabinets that were listed under different girls' names and outrageous prices to send the internet's spidey senses tingling. And once social media users linked the names of these cabinets and other similarly unaffordable items to missing girls.
But just look at this, $10,000 for a pillow, and it is the same name as the girl who went missing. This just can't be a coincidence.
The full weight of this conspiracy set in. Wayfair was allegedly using its website to sell children to elites, right under the public's noses.
It's a kid. You guys sent me a kid.
Okay, was there a defect or something?
Soon, celebrities were being tied to the alleged trafficking scheme. This included Ellen DeGeneres, who had her own Wayfair collection, Chrissy Teigen, who had old tweets discussing children in an inappropriate manner, such as wanting to dress like a child, feeling like a PDF in a child's space, feeling guilty for watching toddlers and tiaras and exposing outfits, calling a toddler attractive, wanting to watch kids give birth, discussing essaying a teen, wanting to send explicit text to a child, referring to an electrolyte drink as PDF Light, and Tom Hanks, who had old social media posts of lost items, including missing shoes and gloves, which were now seen as coded messages alluding to the trafficking of children. Etsy and Walmart were also implicated for similar listings that internet users viewed as suspicious, such as an artwork called Picture of a Pizza, worth $9,000, or shoes from the discount store being sold for $5,000. But just as quickly as the conspiracy took form, it began to fall apart. For starters, of the 6 missing children originally tied to the cabinets, it turned out only one was still actively missing. 4 had already been found and were safe. As for the remaining girl, well, in a Facebook Live, she revealed she was never missing in the first place. Wayfair also publicly denied the allegations. In a statement, a spokesperson for the company explained that they used an algorithm to name their products. They also explained that the pricey cabinets were industrial size and meant for commercial use. As for the other pricey items, like $10,000 personalized pillows, those were blamed on a glitch. So, with no inquiry, no investigation, the conspiracy was seen as officially debunked. And while some remained unconvinced,
You're telling me this was just an honest mistake when you had kids' exact names for your cabinets? Like names that are not found anywhere else?
the rest of the world moved on, until recently. The Epstein files. On January 30th, 2026, the Justice Department released over 3 million files related to the deceased financier and human trafficker, Jeffrey Epstein.
I hope that the work that the men and women within this department have done over the past 2 months hopefully is able to bring closure.
But closure would not be the word. Instead, these files reignited suspicions, especially concerning Wayfair. Those who dismissed the conspiracy too quickly lost their faith in reality, and for those who believed, felt vindicated. But what was found in the files that brought this dead conspiracy back to life? Our team did a little digging, and what we found was deeply unsettling. In the Epstein files, Wayfair shows up 389 times. Now, a number of these emails simply included promotions for the retailer. However, even those could look suspicious in Jeffrey's inbox. Take this advertisement of Wayfair's dog furniture line, for example. Groomed by Wayfair. Of course, this could just be an unfortunate coincidence. And most of Jeffrey's purchases from the company, including $50 here, $200 there, weren't exactly incriminating. But then, there were emails that potentially alluded to something much darker. Let's start with the emails from Belarusian dentist Karina Shuliak. For those who are unfamiliar, Karina Shuliak is Jeffrey's former girlfriend, the last person the financier called before his death, and the heiress to $100 million of his fortune, an inheritance she won't see until Epstein's victims have been compensated. But the files hint Karina fulfilled another role in Jeffrey's life, his personal shopper. In an email from June 28, 2018, Karina confirmed a Wayfair order with Jeffrey's account, Bella Klein. The cost? Over $8,000. For many, this price tag and the fact that whatever the item was hadn't been listed in the receipt was proof that Wayfair was selling more than just furniture.
What were you purchasing for $9,000? Because now I'm just really going back to Wayfair selling children.
And another email revealed Epstein wasn't just buying gifts for himself. Replying to Jeffrey's assistant asking if they received the order, an assistant to a celebrity couple wrote, "I'll let you know when the Allens receive the chairs. Thanks again. Before you ask, yes, those Allens." Disgraced director Woody Allen and his wife/adoptive daughter, Soon-Yi Previn. To the surprise of no one, Jeffrey and Woody were close. So close that Jeffrey ordered him a birthday gift on every millionaire's wish list, chairs, from Wayfair. An email from a couple days earlier showed there had previously been a mix-up. "This isn't the first nor last time I've had trouble with Wayfair," the Allen's assistant wrote. "They always seem to be a little bit unreliable. Now, it's no secret that Wayfair can have issues with quality."
This is the couch that I thought I was going to get. Now, this is the couch that was at my doorstep this morning, and it came in 3 small boxes.
But there was something suspicious about the assistant's problem with the order. They claimed the Allens received 6 chairs total when there should have been 12. Or was it supposed to be 6 sets of 12? Internet users couldn't help noticing that the assistant contradicted herself, leading some to believe they weren't talking about the chairs at all, but the ages of potential victims. This renewed distrust in Wayfair has also led former workers to come forward with their own alleged shady experiences with the company. One user claimed, "I used to work there, and let's just say, when I brought it up in a meeting, it was a pillowcase weighing 98 pounds, $9,999, and it was the name of a missing little girl. I was told not to speak on it again." Another user alleged, "My sister worked for Wayfair during this and she said they sent everyone home for 3 days. I presume so they could scrub." Then there was the comment, "As someone who worked at Wayfair, there's a reason I quit." According to the user, they were not allowed to discuss the Wayfair scandal in any way, shape, or form in their personal lives and especially at work. And if the company got word that a worker had disobeyed these orders, well, they might just have to find a job elsewhere. They were also allegedly told not to question overpriced furniture and that these listings didn't need review. The user claimed they received a number of calls from aggressive and shady men who were interested in purchasing multiple sets of 4-kid bunk beds. However, when they brought up their concerns to management, they were told, "Just sell it to them. That's your job." And it wasn't just purchases from Wayfair that many saw as coded. The almost 2,000 mentions of the word rug, over 5,000 for carpet, had at least one user speculating these words were used to reference girls and the measurements for the items were their ages. After all, a similar format had been used to reference girls' ages in the files, such as, "She's 2 by 8 years old." Other words that showed up repeatedly in our search included lamp, sofa, pillow, and chair. We also found suspiciously large orders that mentioned needing those large shipping containers.
"I don't care how big your couch is, why do you need 20 ottomans?"
And according to the files, there was much more than that. 40 pieces of 1-seat sofas, 40 pieces of 3-seat sofas, 40 ottomans, 8 dining tables with chairs. Clearly, Jeffrey had a thing for furniture, even having items shipped all the way from Bali, Indonesia. You know, a country that's been known to transit children and even babies to bidders overseas. The financier was also involved with a number of home retailers, including Ashley's Furniture, which Ashley Holdings Inc. showing over 600 times in the files. Something the internet found even sketchier, the company name appeared alongside bank statements involving Ron and Todd Wanek, Ashley Furniture's billionaire CEOs. The context, however, wasn't clear to online sleuths. Were these deposits? Balances? Either way, the internet was sketched out. But this isn't the only conspiracy theory that's been reignited with the release of the Epstein files. A decade ago, online sleuths were consumed by a different document release. WikiLeaks had leaked a number of internal emails from the Democratic National Committee, notably including messages from Hillary Clinton and her 2016 campaign chairman, John Podesta. A conspiracy developed that Democratic elites were using code words to secretly discuss child trafficking, such as hot dog, handkerchief, and pizza. With that, Pizzagate was born. The conspiracy even led to a man named Edgar Welch entering Comet Ping Pong, a pizza parlor in Washington, D.C. that was the supposed headquarters of this alleged ring, and shooting a firearm. His plan was to rescue children he believed were hidden in the basement. Turns out, there were no children or a basement. After this, the conspiracy was largely dismissed as nonsense. But following the release of the Epstein files, many are saying that the people who promoted the theory, like newscaster Ben Swan, have been vindicated.
Investigators have already proven there's nothing to the story, right? Well, actually, no. And that's what you need to know. For all that is here, there has not been one single public investigation of any of this.
The word pizza originally came up in the Epstein files over 911 times. However, 60 references were later removed. But it's not just the number of times pizza is referenced that's disturbing. It's the way it's referenced.
I am sure that some of these emails were just people innocently planning to eat pizza together, but I do have to question some of them.
See, in these documents, it always seems that either some sort of crucial context is missing. For example, one subject line in an email reads, "Your pizza is yummy, yummy." A sentence you'd expect from a 4-year-old, not an adult. Other references to pizza are more mysterious, like an email where a redacted sender writes, "Let's go for pizza and grape soda again. No one else can understand." We found a similar message in another exchange where a person whose identity has been redacted, potentially Epstein, attempts to secure refills for a medication given to men to keep everything working downstairs from urologist Harry Fish. At one point, Harry messages, "After you use them, wash your hands and let's go get pizza and grape soda." In one email sent with the subject, reply, "Pizza monster," Jeffrey wrote, "She looks pregnant." The person he was responding to, whose identity was redacted, shot back, "You mean radiating a soft glow with the look of bliss and excitement? Yeah, that's the pizza." Another email chain discusses making a pizza using a molding of a redacted person's butt so they can use the mold to make pizza. Yes, discussions of women and pizza often seem to overlap in the Epstein files, and sometimes children are also involved. For example, one email chain regarding a pizza party where guests had a lot of fun and stayed late references a spoof to Sia's Chandelier video, with child dancer Maddie Ziegler describing it as the amazing little girl dance. Of course, if these messages were talking about more than just pizza, the original conspiracy that this was a Democrat-exclusive ring falls apart. Some even believe that this was the point. QAnon had masked it as an alt-right conspiracy to make anyone who said anything about it sound like a lunatic.
So the Pizzagate thing was active disinformation.
Reddit users have also theorized one of the most powerful users on the Pizzagate Reddit, U. Maxwell Hill, was actually Jeffrey's ex-girlfriend and accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell. And following the Epstein files drop, it seems this theory holds some weight, as documents exposed both a tip to the FBI that Ghislaine was the Reddit user and FBI evidence showing a screenshot from the account. Given how many conspiracies the Epstein files have given new life to,
Every single conspiracy theory is correct now. I'm just terrified.
It's no surprise that people are looking at old listings on retail sites through a critical lens. For example, this Etsy listing labeled as Young Pizza Assorted and paired with an image of children, pizza, and devil horns was selling for $50,000 on Etsy in 2023. Or this alleged product description for nursery furniture from 2020 that said, "We carry a wide selection of baby and kids. If you're looking for where to buy baby and kids online, then you'll have no trouble finding a great option on Wayfair." And many believe these retailers are still shady. After all, what reasonable explanation was there for a kid's twin bed to cost almost $20K, or a 2-shelf bookcase to set someone back 6 figures? And while some of the missing children tied to the original conspiracy had been found, some were still missing. This TikToker was in contact with the cousin of Crystal Ann Tymick, a little girl who went missing in 1994. According to the cousin, she noticed a floor lamp on Wayfair for sale under Crystal's name. The price? Oh, roughly $8,000. And here's where things get even more unsettling. After the FBI failed to follow up with her concerns, the cousin allegedly tried to buy the piece of furniture for herself.
So she went through the checkout process, and upon getting to the checkout payment page, it asked her to log in again. And that was strange because she was already logged in. So she logs back into her account and it kicks her out again. It tells her incorrect credentials.
She was then allegedly redirected to another website to provide more information, which spooked her, but no one she told believed her.
They called her a crazy conspiracy theorist. They told her that she was just missing her cousin too much. Nobody believed that there was anything to this.
Many also argued that there was no innocent reason why Jeffrey Epstein, a person who was worth almost $600 million, would shop at a mid-range retailer. Then again, there were other possible explanations. For some, these files still aren't enough proof to confirm conspiracy theories. And that's fair, considering a lot of crucial context has been redacted. And even if coded language was used, it would be almost impossible to prove it's tied to trafficking without corroborating evidence, footage, or first-hand testimony. Yes, for some, they simply believe this is a case where money can't buy taste. As one Redditor argued, sometimes an $8,000 furniture purchase really is just an $8,000 furniture purchase. And for other people, because some files proved Jeffrey and his friends had no problem being disturbingly direct about what they were doing, they believed they did not need to use code words because they felt they were above the law. But online, suspicion doesn't disappear just because proof is incomplete, especially when the subject could involve Epstein. So if even one of these files is using coded language to allude to something darker, it's worth investigating. After all, as Epstein's case proves, powerful people can hide horrific secrets. While you're here, check out our video on another conspiracy that might not be a conspiracy at all. And consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. Your support means a lot to us and helps us continue to create videos like these.